All right. Yay, we're live. Good. Okay, so trying to make sure that you guys can all see me well. Welcome to the live. I'm going to give everybody some time to hop on. And if you're on, please let me know that you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you for being patient. It's always something, isn't it? I'm so happy you're here. If you're watching this in playing back, there we go. My parents are like, where are you? If you're watching this playing back, you can. There we go. Sounds good. Oh, Minnesota gal, thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys. All right, I'll just do my intro. Let people hop on that wanted to come on tonight's live and get your questions ready because we're here to talk about questions and support and everything. So happy New Year, guys. Yes, happy New Year. It's the first live of the new year, which means I'm just diving into it here. And I'm just really excited. So I'm Marina Blackford. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm a 2-time breast cancer survivor. I have done chemo, radiation, surgery, and double mastectomy. I have a lot of cancer experience, and so I'm here to pay forward all the tips for you. So I welcome you here. My knowledge is breast cancer, and if you have another kind of cancer, I feel like you could still use this information. Happy New Year, Marva. So I welcome you to look at my playlists on the channel. You'll find playlists for chemo, for radiation therapy, for surgery tips. And breast surgery tips can apply to other surgeries, going into anesthesia, what to expect. I feel like I'm due to maybe do another surgery tip video. If you guys are here, I'm always happy to get feedback. So I put a schedule out. So make sure you subscribe. If you subscribe, you see the schedule for the month. So you can see when the lives are and you can see the topics that are coming up. So the end of the month, I have a video called Hi to my parents that are on. Probably quiet that. Okay. So yes, if you ask a question, somebody asked me, yes, help me with chemo belly. And I made sure to put that in the schedule. So that is going to be a video for the last week of the month called How to Get Rid of the Chemo Belly. So I'm doing a lot of research now, listening to some podcasts and compiling things that worked for me to help you. So again, thank you guys for being here. The channel is nothing without you. I welcome you and I'm so thankful. So as always, I kind of have a theme for the lives. Like I try to pick a theme that I feel like will help you on a cancer journey, but not just on your journey, but after. So Lynn, thank you. Here from San Diego. So I always try to put the time that I'm on, and it's a little confusing with time zones because I'm in Arizona. So it's 7 o'clock. And I'm glad you guys find me in your time zone. So thank you. So yeah, we have a theme for tonight, and I think it's really fitting for the new year. I said this phrase to someone today that needed it, and I felt like it really struck. So I'm like, this has really helped me. So let's let this guide tonight's live. So I'll answer some questions as we go, and then I'll carry on for the theme. So I have a subscriber that's asking how to get rid of the steroid moon face. I have been there. I've been there. The setting was I had my first chemo. My first chemo was the AC chemo, the adriamycin cytoxin. Sounds awful. People often call it the red devil chemo because it's red. And that was the first chemo I ever had infused and received. And before you don't know what you're getting into when you start chemo, right? But you show up and they say, hi, Lisa. You show up and it's like, okay, we're going to do pre-meds. Like, okay, what's that? They give you a bag of steroids. They start usually with like hydrating you, right? And then they do Benadryl to offset any reaction you might get from chemo. Hi, Annette, welcome. And then you get steroid, and then the steroid is going to up your body to be able to deal with the chemo. And I went home from that first chemo, and I mean, that's how quickly I had reaction. I just felt like, boom, bloated. I looked, I'm Hispanic in heritage, and I have an olive complexion. I mean, I literally look like an olive. I looked round and green, and I just felt awful. So the best thing I could say is to go back to your team when you're back for your next infusion and tell them, like, hey guys, I'm really bloated. Like, is this normal? And the only thing I could say is they did tweak my steroid. They actually lowered my dose, and then I wasn't as bloated. Otherwise, you will likely gain weight during your cancer journey if you're receiving a steroid with your chemo. I gained a pound a week through my first journey, and that was 15 weeks of like infusions. So 16 infusions. So, you know, I would just communicate with the team, see if they can tweak your steroid. And beyond that, I recommend still hydrating and walking. I mean, those two things just are some of the best things you can do during treatment is to daily walk and hydrate. Someone said the Pepsid. I was surprised. Yeah. Oh gosh, it's a lot. It's a shock to your system, especially if you're not used to taking medication. Katrina said, "Did you do radiation and just finished and trying to heal my burns? Any suggestions?" Uh, just really be diligent with the creams. And so it's kind of a combination of lotion. Mm, let me rephrase that. I used aloe vera gel and an ointment, those just religiously, right? So I use the aloe vera gel during the day because it's less staining on your clothes. And then I'd use the ointment at night to really lock in moisture and heal. And you just have to be very, very routine. And your body will heal. It's like a really bad sunburn, right? And you will heal. Just be really diligent with what they've given you. I do link some creams. If you find my Amazon storefront, it's my name and it's linked in the description box under my videos to a cream that helps with some pain too. It's a natural cream. It's called Camwell is the brand, and they sent me samples and I thought they were great. Minnesota gal said just get Sylvadine cream from the doctor. Yeah, that helps with pain, and again, a cream. It's going to help you heal. So thank you for sharing. And yeah, ooh, kept the aloe spray in the fridge for cooling effects. I like that. Thank you for putting your tips on here because you likely have experience that somebody else will benefit from. So that's what the Facebook Live, or excuse me, the YouTube Live is here for. Hi, Jeffrey. Hello. Welcome. Oh, Jeffrey. Yes, I know you. Welcome. Thank you for joining my live. That's awesome. All right. Rosa says, my first chemotherapy is tomorrow. I'm very nervous about it. I'm going to do DigniCap, cold cap to prevent hair loss. Does anyone have DigniCap experience? If you do, comment for Rosa. I've heard good things about doing the cold cap. I think it's just doing the process correctly, Rosa. Not that you just do it well. And so they usually want you to make sure it's very snug fitting. I tried it all on. I just didn't do it because I don't know. I'm impatient and I didn't want to sit in the chemo chair for 90 minutes after, if that's what they're having you do. I just wanted to go home. But it's very important that you make sure that cap is very snug to your scalp because if that's how it works well. So make sure your cap is very, very snug. And I was told to sit in the chair for 90 minutes after chemo, also with it on, and your nurses should be aware of that if you're doing that. So Katrina says, thank you. Ladies from Minnesota gal for your suggestions. So a theme for tonight. So I found myself needing to talk to somebody about some reassurance today. And I said a phrase that I've told myself before, and I'll share with you the phrase. It is, you are exactly where you need to be. And that can be very hard to hear. Sorry about the chuckle, but it's true because I've been there. When you're in the middle of your cancer journey, you're like, is this really where I need to be? Like diagnosed with cancer? But you have to take out the, cynical side to your diagnosis, okay? Because that is what it is. We cannot change yesterday. We can only move forward. So the more you can be in that moment and trust that you are where you need to be, that's it, right? That's all we have is that moment. And it saves me a lot. I'm in a home with toddlers, they're 4 and 2, and it's very busy and loud and demanding of my time and energy. And, you just give what you can and then try to be present and live by a planner. Okay. So I told that person, you're exactly where you need to be. And I think they needed to hear that because they might not be where they want to be. But when you can lean into something and trust that you are where you need to be, it can bring you um, peace. And so that's kind of my theme for tonight is if you're wanting to find peace and the word, it's like I should insert word here. The word for today's live is having faith. And I'm not going to get religious on you guys. You can choose your, way of interpreting that. But I believe if you can have faith, it can help you find peace in your journey. And faith to me is accepting, like, this is where I am. And what can I do to help me get to where I want to be? Because when you look too much at the past, you worry too much about the future. It's too much, right? I think you guys have heard me say it before. Anxiety is living in the past, and no, depression is living in the past. Anxiety is living in the future. So bring it in to that. So some comments here. Minnesota gal, you can get lidocaine cream over the counter. One is aloe vera with lidocaine at Walmart. Oh, that's good to know. I did not know that, Minnesota gal. So if you have radiation burn and it is very uncomfortable, you need to rest and heal. And in order to rest or sleep, you need to numb that pain sometimes. And so using something with lidocaine would be very effective. Thank you, Minnesota gal. Martha, I'm glad that what I just said spoke to you. Um, yeah, we all need to hear that sometimes. So somebody is wishing Rosa best wishes on your first chemo. Being here, I hope you're finding some tips that will help you, Rosa. I know they can help you. Marva says faith and hope. I know I talk about hope in my last live, 2 lives ago, and sending you more good vibes, Rosa. So thank you guys for hearing that. I have a book out here that I think it's just so powerful, and the author. So here's something that helps me. I'll pay forward one of my tips that has always worked for me, which is I love to listen to podcasts. And so if you guys have time in the chemo chair, time while driving, time while resting, it's great to fill yourself up with things that will help you feel better. And so you can find positive content on YouTube, like this channel. So welcome. You can find podcasts, audiobooks, but find something uplifting that might just help you. And podcasts really work for me. I'm a huge fan of Oprah's Super Soul. And one of my favorite all-time interviews she does is with Mitch Albom, the author of Tuesdays with Maury. You guys might remember this book. It's already in its 25th anniversary. And Mitch Albom was a sports writer and saw that one of his favorite professors from college was ill and basically dying. And he realized he needed to pick up the phone and see him. And so he did that, and he went to see him and he spent time with him, and he wrote this book called Tuesdays with Maury. And he admits he didn't think it would be much of anything. Nobody wanted to publish it because he was not a nonfiction writer. He was a sports writer, but it was so powerful. And there's so much that comes from this book in the lessons. And when I listened to the podcast, a couple of things that helped with what we're talking about today, finding faith and peace in your journey. Maury would often talk about forgiveness. What were lessons that a dying man could teach us? And he said, forgive, 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 forgive. Because there was a friend of his that they stopped talking. They fell out. They went different ways. And, that friend passed for Maury. And when he was sick and dying, he wishes that was something he could have repaired. So he encourages you all to live with forgiveness. He said, even if you're wrong, let them be right. Because what's it worth in the end? Sometimes, when all he wanted was that friendship back. And so I think forgiveness was a really great tip in this to help you find peace. And And another great thing that Mitch Albom learned, and he talks about with Oprah, was, she asks him, "What did you learn from Maury, and what helps you every day?" And he said to ask yourself every day, "Does this matter?" And I thought that really sat with me, because I can definitely use that in my life sometimes when I'm just like, oh my gosh, the laundry's behind. Like, we don't have our favorite snacks in the house. Like, I mean, it could be like little things that can build up for any of us. And sometimes we have to pause and really ask ourselves, does this matter? And Mitch Albom says, you could ask yourself this daily, but truly you could ask yourself this every hour sometimes. Does this matter? So that is some of the positive things I want to share with you guys tonight. Um, where are you guys on your journey? Are you still in it? Are you in the survivor side of it? I'm just curious if anybody wants to comment. But I think it's important to know that with this channel. Oh, I have some comments. I'll bring up some comments. Lynn, thank you for reminding us about how important it is to find a way to accept what is happening to us, as difficult as that can be. Faith is so important. Thank you, Lynn. Yes, you guys are hearing me. Like, it's just, there's so much. That's what brought me peace in my cancer journey. I felt like there was so much I couldn't control. I couldn't control that I had cancer. And so I needed to focus on what I could control, which was feeling well. I chose Western medicine. I chose chemo to be my cancer because it's proven to beat triple negative breast cancer very well. And I sat with that, and I'm fine with it. So if you're here, guys, I mean, this is what I talk about. So I needed to really focus on what I could control, which was how can I feel better. So that's why you'll see all the tips on my channel. Gratitude journaling, drinking ginger tea, wearing anti-nausea wristbands, like focusing on what I could control just really, really helped me. So lean into your situation. Another favorite phrase of mine, lean in. What else? Vibes. Best wishes from India. Thank you I have a lot of subscribers that are overseas, so I appreciate you guys being here with the time difference. I have no idea what time it is in India or Australia or Norway, where I have a lot of people come from. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Marina, for it was so helpful on my journey. Thank you for the feedback, because I got to be honest, guys, I love doing the lives. I love being here, and I'm still really trying to figure out what my next big thing could be for you guys, but I know that this feels right. The lives feels right, and I'm consistent with it, and I'm just going to keep creating videos, and it's going to come. Whatever's next will come. Jeffrey says there's definitely a ton of good in this world. Grab onto it and don't let go. Amen. You can choose, guys. You always have a choice. You have a choice to just sulk in the negative and look for the negative, but that's not going to serve you. And that's what gratitude journaling is. It kind of brings you back to, let's look for the positive. Marva, you're still in your journey. Thank you for sharing. So I hope you just keep moving through it and you're healing. I'm going to send you the positive vibes that you might be needing, that you can heal and that you can be well and you can live with peace daily, even if you're not at the end of your treatment, that you can find peace in the moment. Lisa says, week 6 of deep flap reconstruction. Thank you for commenting, Lisa. I hope you're doing well. I see a lot of people interested in doing deep flap over implants lately, and I think it's awesome. I'm very curious about it. If you want to put a comment on, I don't know, how it's looking, how you're feeling, yeah, go ahead. I'm happy to see that there are alternatives for people that might not want to do an implant. Because I'll tell you, these babies have a timeline. These implants are not gonna stay. They're okay, they're fine looking. But they're not that comfortable for my lifestyle. I just went for a run before this live because it really helped me to focus and de-stress. Running's a big de-stressor for me. So they're not the best for running and working out and sleeping, just implants. They're fine, but you do you. Minnesota gal taking letrozole now and had my first Someta infusion for bone loss. Okay, so yeah, you're still in, that's not a chemo, but you're kind of in your, continued medication. I don't know what do we call that? Immunotherapy. Thank you for sharing. And I send you healing vibes as well. Urina. I'm having my 29th chemo this Friday. I'm also in Arizona. 29 chemos. So that is a lot. So you're in my time zone. Hello. And I hope that you're just getting results. I hope that your chemo is working for you. I told myself that when I was getting all the side effects from chemo, right? When my hair started falling out and everywhere, my eyebrows, which will no longer fall out because they're permanent. I told myself my chemo is working. And again, you can find the negative or you can find the positive. And it's like, this sucks that your hair falls out, but I was like, at least it means it's doing something. And a comment again from HS. Just had my second chemo round last week, still on the journey. Keep going. Just know that many of others have done this before you and are doing it and have healed from it, and you can do it. Wendy, I have triple negative breast cancer and have my second treatment this week. Wendy, I saw you comment on another video, so thank you for being here. I hope you're finding tips. That is my dog. If you guys don't know, I have two dogs, a 15-year-old cattle dog and a 5-year-old terrier. And they're adorable, but they love to be loud when I film. Wendy, thank you for being here. I saw you comment in another video, and I hope you are doing okay with your treatment. Your husband was a radiologist, or yes, I believe. So anyways, I hope you're doing well. Annette, my longtime subscriber, thank you. 1.5 survivorship. Woo! Ovarian cancer. I'm so happy for your survivorship. Keep going and living and thriving. Don't be afraid to use that word. I get a little intimidated to use the word thriving, but I don't want to be, guys. I want to feel like it's okay. We can say you can thrive after cancer. I think I just get nervous because sometimes I'm like, oh, but it's just day to day. I don't know how today's going, but when you feel it, go with it. All right. Very helpful. Thank you, Marva. You're a longtime subscriber as well, and you comment and support me. I appreciate you. Oh, I like this, Annette. 24-year survivorship for breast cancer. Awesome. That's awesome. Somebody needs to hear that. They can go many, many years without recurrence. And Melanie from Australia, thank you for being here. If you could have one anti-cancer juice, what would it be? Be a magic green juice that I didn't have to infuse into my body. Is that what you're suggesting though? I mean, really, are you looking for a holistic suggestion? I have a juicer that I don't use as often as I'd like to, but if you do use a juicer, any fruits and vegetables, I don't want to say any, but just incorporating more fruits and vegetables into your diet and eliminating more inflammatory things from your diet is just a win. So I hear celery juice is great. So in my personal juicer, I have juice citrus with carrots and celery, and that's probably an apple. That's probably my go-to juice if you're actually going to make a juice. I don't know what's going on with my dog. And thank you for the question, Melanie. And I pray you're doing all right. I see you have stage 4, but you can still thrive even in stage 4. I hope you're doing well. All right. Wendy says, do you have any skincare or routine recommendations during chemo? Chemo makes everything very sensitive, like that you didn't realize, right? Because you're literally, the follicles on your head will start to itch and have some pain. And then you'll notice your teeth feel sensitive. I don't know what that is. I'm a dental hygienist and I had that, and I wear a guard every night, so I wasn't grinding more. So in your skin is just, everything is more sensitive. So I would just use a very gentle cleansing product. Make sure you're using something that has minimal ingredients that are soothing. I think Aveeno is an easy one that has very soothing ingredients. So Aveeno face wash. I use a product that's direct through consultants. It's called Arbonne, but it's always been free of parabens, mineral oil, and artificial fragrances. So I try to just choose stuff that has really good, gentle ingredients. And I'm a nighttime routine person. I wash my face nightly. I use a toner. I use a serum, and I'm religious with it. And I've been doing that for 8 years now. Does it make a difference? Eye cream? Okay. Um, Lisa, I'm very happy with the results so far. Significantly smaller than I was before, but I have a very natural appearance and feel. So this is on deep flap, breast reconstruction surgery. Worst part is the abdominal incision. That's what I would expect to hear, Lisa. Thank you for sharing. Deep flap is breast reconstruction. Then instead of placing an implant in your chest, you can use your own skin. Oh, this is translap. Deep flap. They'll use some skin that they use from your stomach and bring it into the breast pocket to create some breast tissue. And it's not breast tissue, but breast tissue. Um, and then you don't have to have an implant. So yes, it would definitely be significantly smaller. But I think using your own body for a natural look, that's it's just a great option. So I hope your abdomen heals well soon. Because I think that'd be the really only downside to that is having to have the 2 incisions or 3, whatever. Allison, I had my first AC treatment yesterday. I have 5 months of chemo, been there, mastectomy, been there, and 6 weeks of chemo 5 times a day. I've been watching your videos. They've helped a lot. Well, thank you, Allison. Thank you. Appreciate it. I need to hear it, guys, because it's weird how we get so desensitized. Like, I don't know if I'm making a difference, but people are finding these videos, and I'm glad you guys are that need them. Lisa, healing is 10 weeks. That's a really long time to avoid abdominal muscles. Yeah, like what if you sneeze? Like sneezing probably sucks right now. And I hope no one's making you belly laugh. Like, I'm, I'm sorry. I pray you heal soon. Allison, okay. Oh, we went into that. Yes, thank you for commenting. Thank you for being here. Hello, and Sandra. So I'm gonna bring it full circle in a little bit because I've had some really good comments and questions tonight. So thank you guys. Sandra says, starting first week of February with chemo. The triple positive breast cancer, very nervous, but your videos and seeing how well you are puts me at ease with everything that everything will be fine. Thank you, Sandra. And you will be fine. I know you can do this. They are so good at what they do now. Like chemo is still not great. You're going to feel different. There'll be side effects, but they're really good at giving you the pre meds that could help. And I just encourage you to always communicate with your oncology team. You know, there's just, I agree, chemo, cancer, it's all scary because you haven't done this before, but look at me. I have hair again. I beat it twice and my hair is growing and you will be on the other side. I know you will. So thank you for being here. And the last comment here. Okay. Just tuning in. Hello, welcome. I was diagnosed with breast cancer stage 2 in April of last year. I did chemo, double mastectomy, and next radiation. You were one of the first people I found when I first started. Thank you for being here. I have people comment, and this is why I created the channel because I feel like I was looking for this and I couldn't quite find it, so I created it. So here's my channel, Marina Blackford. I wanted to see somebody that was maybe a little bit of a go-getter that could show me what it was like to do chemo, get through chemo well, not to just sulk. So I use the word sulk a lot because I don't like it. I don't like sulking. I wanted to see somebody that was like, we can do this. So, and here I am. The chemo worked. I think I did the worst part of treatment, but how do you manage with getting good results, but still worried about it coming back? Very common. I answer this question a lot. I'll leave it on the screen. It's probably one of my top questions. People say, how do you deal with the fear of recurrence? And I deal with it by dealing with it because I have it. It does enter my mind. I'd be lying if I say, oh, no, I don't think about it at all. I deal with it one day at a time. And that's it. That's all you can deal with is how is today going? How do I feel? What am I doing to help myself? And some days are good and some days are not perfect because I wanted a burger from a fast food place. But most of the time I'm eating organic and I'm choosing to eat food that is good for me. And I pray and I fill out a gratitude journal. That's like amazing. I love this one from Amazon. It's under $6 and it's fantastic. It helps you just like write pages daily. of finding gratitude. So I deal with it one day at a time. And I am going to see my oncologist next week. So I'll bring you guys along for that. I will film and share how that goes. I'm expecting it to go well, but the cording has been fine. I regained all my range of motion, but it's still tight. And um, I don't have a fear that I have like cancer, but I just know I'm going to have probably more surgery to come is what I'm trying to say. So I just deal with it one day at a time. You just got to deal with it in bite-sized chunks, guys. I mean, this stuff is heavy, it's hard, and that's my best advice is to just do good, fill your body with good healthy stuff as much as you can, fill your mind with good healthy stuff as much as you can, and know you're a person that's going to have these thoughts. I should praise meditation. It's something I go in and out of, but when you can find a moment to meditate, it can really relax your brain. I went to yoga class yesterday. I was overdue, and it was so good for me. So fill yourself up with something like that to help. And let's round it out. We're at the 30-minute mark, which I feel like is usually pretty good. So let's answer some questions here. Or some praises, I should say. I don't know. Minnesota gal, I have hair again too. Yay. Wish it had skipped my legs though. I know, right? Like there's some places I didn't mind not having armpit hair. That was great. Positivity is key. Thank you for reinforcing that, Melanie. Marva, so true. One day at a time. And Airbender, thank you for answering. I just turned 32. Oh, I feel you. I feel I have to decide so much for when I'm much older since I have to take a hormone pill for 5 to 10 years. I know it sucks. And so I talk about this sometimes. You have to validate sometimes that you're just like, this sucks. Like, that's why this live is here. That's why this community is here. I'm going to wrap it up with that, but saying like, it really helps to find other cancer fighters and survivors because it's really easy to get bitter sometimes. Like, and I haven't been bitter lately. This is what I've been dealing with lately, guys. Truth. I have felt some anxiety lately. Like, I feel like I want to cry lately. Do you ever feel that way? You just have some pent up emotion. You don't know where it came from. It was, what years in 20, it was 2 years ago that I was in the midst of having a 2-year-old, a newborn, and in chemo. And I still get PTSD from that because during the time I was just in fighter mode and survival mode. And I find myself sometimes recently just looking around and people going like, oh gosh, they're having a hard time with traffic today. Or, oh yeah, that just sucks when you forget your coupons. And you're like, I cannot relate to that. I have beat cancer twice. And so it's really easy to go there when you're like, people just don't understand. Like, I was fighting for my life 2 years ago. I was losing my hair and I was just in a place that nobody wants to be. And so I encourage you to find some commonality with somebody. And if it's here, welcome, come. Because it's just really easy sometimes to look at people and be like, you have no idea. So find some people that you can talk to that can relate to you and then find gratitude because people are allowed to complain. They are allowed. But find your cancer community. All right. I'm going to close it out with that. And Melanie says, Marina, can you please consider a live on weight gain while going plant-based? I'm going to look for the chemo belly video at the end of the month. I think I'll put some really good tips in there, Melanie. I admit, I think there's a lot of great things to plant-based because it's anti-inflammatory, but protein is key. And there's just more and more research that we're just not getting enough protein or amino acids from only plant-based. So I do have, if you morally are okay with eating animals, I do have more, I do have protein. I do have animal protein in my diet. I just try to like not have a ton of red meat. So, I think we go on and on, guys, but I'm gonna wrap it up. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your comments, and I appreciate you guys. Please look for me in the next video and come back to the channel. So you'll always find something that that comes to you right when you need it. That's what I feel. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.